Welcome, Radio of Horror YouTube fans, and check out this amazing review, a spectacular, astonishing. Your friendly neighborhood Katie's here, the blonde in front of fear, to talk about Spider-Man Far From Home, the new Marvel Cinematic movie.
Well, hey, boils and ghouls. Yes, it is time to pack your bags, and don't forget your passport, because we are going on a trip with Spider-Man Far From Home, directed by John Watts and starring Tom Holland, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Zendaya. The film begins after Avengers Endgame. So if you have not seen Endgame, if you are that one person, go to a local cinema, because it is still out there. You can still see it. And watch it, because if you haven't, spoilers, it's going to give a lot away. There's a lot of stuff that's happened in the world, and especially in Spider-Man's world. I just have to say that I did not see Spider-Man Homecoming. I know, but I am done. Tom Holland, you are my man. I've got a major cougar crush on you.
Woo!
You're absolutely adorable, and you are such a fantastic Peter Parker. I love he's just trying to cope with everything that has happened after Endgame, after the snap, and everyone has come back, and he just wants to try and be a high school kid.
They call it the blink, the blip. They call it the blip.
Yes, the teenage kids call it the blip, which I think is adorable. They do an adorable memoriam of everyone who has been lost during and after, or during the blip. And it's very cute. It's a great way to start the film, because it kind of gives you a recap of everything that happened in Avengers Endgame. But you've got these kids who, it's been 5 years. Some of them were 11 or 12, and now they're 17, and everyone's coming back and they're 17, and it's kind of a weird thing. And also you realize that people use the blip or the snap as a time that, oops, I just disappeared, and it's a good way for them to go and leave their husband and run off with someone's yoga instructor or climbing partner. But I regress, because Peter Parker is just trying to go back to life, even though his mentor, spoiler, is gone. That's right. Tony Stark, rest in peace. We love you. Iron Man is no longer. He wants to do what he can for his neighborhood. He's living in Queens. He's loving it. He's living with his aunt, who is great. Marissa Tomei, I love you to death. But he just wants to be a high school kid and go on a high school trip with his
I have
high
a
school
cougar
friend.
crush on her.
She's gorgeous, and I love how they make her. Everything about the script with this is fantastic.
Go see The Wrestler if you haven't seen The Wrestler with Marissa Tomei in it.
Yeah, and he just wants to, be with his friend. But Nick Fury, Maria Hill, and a new character to the Marvel movie family. I know he's not new to the comics. Mysterio / Quentin Beck.
First debuted in Amazing Spider-Man number 14 back in 1963.
Who was played by Jake Gyllenhaal, won't let that happen when he goes to Europe. And everywhere Peter Parker goes, or he ends up going, the elementals, which are monsters that work with the elements of Earth, appear. And unfortunately, his high school class is with him. So he's got to do what he's got to do, be his now worldly Spider-Man.
Katie.
And me, yes.
Would you say he has to do whatever a spider can?
Yes, Spider-Man. He's slinging webs. He's slinging everything. And I don't know. For me, the high points of this film are the acting and the script. Everyone does such a fantastic job, because Tom Holland and Zendaya just seem like shy, awkward high school kids. All the kids who are high school kids seem like they're awkward high school kids. They are not. I've checked their ages. Most of them are like in their early 20s and whatnot. It's just very real and natural, the way they do things. Spider-Man, his costumes are fantastic. There are at least 3 that I can think of, and they are amazing. One miss I had, but I know it goes along with the comics and everything. Mysterio, Jake Gyllenhaal, every time I saw him, I know I'm not, on board with everything from the past comics and whatnot, but every time I saw him, all I could think of was Megamind, David Cross and Megamind as that fish, because it just looks like a big bowl. I actually did a photo next to each other, and yeah, it really does look like it. But he does a fantastic job. The CGI is great, special effects. I love how they have, it's even with the emotional, the action, and the comic scenes, and even gives a little nod to the multiverse that they have. It's a little one. You have to pay attention, but it's a nice little nod. There are 2 reveals, which I guessed early on, but you know what? It doesn't matter because this is an incredibly entertaining film. And there are 2 additional endings after the first one. Stay to the end. This is a Marvel film. Stay to the end. You will not be disappointed. Stay sticky. Go see this movie. Tony Stark, you will always be Edith to me. And I say this is a cheers to go see this film.
Yes, I don't want to give away what one of these 2 spoilers are. One of them is Peter is framed for Mysterio's death, and that's all I'm going to say about that. However, the other post-credit scene is heavily tied to Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy in the best way possible.
Oh, awesome.
Unbelievable cameo from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. You've seen the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Couple quick little things. They make a mention that the water guy is Morris Bench, aka the Hydro Man, but that's not who it is. But anyone going into this movie who thought Mysterio was a good guy and they were redoing Mysterio to make him like a different kind of character, absolutely not. They do Mysterio exactly like the way he is in the comic books. He is an actor. He is a charlatan. He is a criminal. He is manipulating things from behind the scenes. He is doing exactly what Mysterio would do. In fact, there are great connections to other Marvel films with what Mysterio has planned, which is fantastic. I need to go out and buy myself a couple $1 billion worth of Google glasses, don't you, Katie?
Oh yeah,
Jeez.
Very much so.
I have like $300 pair of Google glasses, or augmented reality glasses. They definitely can't do what Peter does with those. Definitely go check this movie out. This is, by the way, the end of Phase 4 for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The next thing coming is going to be the Loki and Winter Soldier Falcon television series on the Disney app this fall, before we get the next film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. With the San Diego Comic-Con coming soon, we're going to get announcements about what Marvel has planned other than that Black Widow movie. So we'll have to stay tuned. Definitely check out the rest of the reviews here on the Radio Horror YouTube channel. Thank you, Katie, and keep on web swinging, everybody.
Stay sticky.